Hello everyone and welcome back to Lakeside. It's Sunday afternoon, so it's time for a little video. The video today is going to be about the Magnorail and the village, which you can see just about there, which obviously I'll show you a bit closer up. You're going to have to use a lot of imagination, which is what I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm just planning it out, and I've got the Magnorail going as regards to chain and the two bikes going round. I covered the whole chain in 160 GSM paper, which is held on with double-sided tape at the moment. So it's all a bit of a lash up at the moment, and I've painted the main road in the grey, which is taken from the grey of the road for the back scene here along Kingsway, but I'm not that happy with it because it's made the paper a little bit wrinkly. I put it on a little bit too wet, but you know, I want you to see the downfalls as well as the successes, because this will help other people if they're going to be doing Magnorail or Falla. So I'll show you that as well in a minute. So the bikes go round, albeit a little bit iffy. So just bear with me. So use your imagination. I'll try and explain to you what I'm trying to achieve on there, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so bye for now. See you in a minute. Hello again and welcome back. Right, before we start on the Magnorail and the village, I just thought I'd quickly show you what I've been doing since about probably Thursday. I started back up here, and I've been concentrating on doing the back scene along this side where the village is, so that once that's complete I haven't got to stretch over the village, and I'm reasonably happy with that. I've just got to airbrush some weathering on the retaining walls there and the bridge. Once that's done, then I can not worry about having to reach over. So that's gone right the way up now to the little station there. Up at the back there'll be a little car park just there for car parks to park, and then of course I can work my way down here. So the back scene is virtually finished. I've added some static grass at the front, which I've also got to weather from passing trains, but I'm reasonably happy with that. So there's probably about a morning's work left on that to do, with the airbrushing and dry brushing of the retaining walls. Across here you can see that I've got the canopy removed from the bus station, and also the canopy is removed from the platform there because I'm fitting the lights to them from West Hill. I've got their tube fittings which they've just released, so I'm fitting those, so they will be up hopefully next time you see or get another video from me. And that really is about it as regards the layout itself. So this is where you're going to have to use your imagination, which is pretty much what I'm doing. So from the road which feeds into Kingsway here, Kingsway High Street, from that road there'll be a bridge, and that is where the lorries will come through into the retaining, not retaining yard, the can't think of it, the yard, let's put it that way, and so they will come through there and then go along the road to there. So that's how I'm going to get over lorries coming into the container yard. That was the word I'm looking for. Quite easy, isn't it? So they will come in from there. Where they will come from, it doesn't matter. It's, if you like, an illusion. So they will be coming through that bridge there. So if we step back, this is the beginnings of the village, and these houses may change, but it's going to be pretty much what you see there. So it's very, very similar to the previous village I had, albeit turned round a bit. So we've got some terraced houses there with a little shop at the end, and then we've got 4 houses, 2 semi-detached with cars parked either side of their driveway. That is pretty much identical to the previous village, so they will have gardens going, rear gardens all the way going back. And if you remember, there was one guy there with a scruffy garden with a full pop in it with a tarpaulin over it, fridges, freezers, washing machines in the back garden. So I've saved all that, so that will be replicated again in the gardens at the back. So each garden will be probably identical to what the previous layout was, or near enough anyway. In the foreground, now this board is going to be extended out to about another foot or so along here, and so we have the cafe place and shop just there, and of course my cottage and the garage. Now that's supposed to be Hazel's car there. The only thing resembling her car there is the fact that it's a Mini, but she's got a silver convertible Mini, so I'm going to see if I can find one of those. I'm sure I can find one, but that will do for now. It's a Mini, so that will do. So the Magnorail itself, the road, if you look, goes from there across the bridge and through the village, and then it will carry on, turn a corner and go down a hill, and that will lead to the manor house, which will be bolted on the end, if you like, of this part here. Pub on the corner with a car park, and so obviously that will be up much higher. It will be up to here, same level as this. And so with the Magnorail itself, there are the 2 bikes which I've painted up, but they haven't got me and Hazel on them yet. I'm in the throes of painting the people to go on the bikes. And what I did, I've covered this in, if I show you probably down here, 2 layers of 4mm cork to make 8mm of cork. Now that is to raise the level of the track, to the height of the track, shall I say, because the track is actually screwed to the MDF here, and then it rises up 8mm to this height here. So I've laid 2 layers of cork down, and then added double-sided tape, and then stuck some paper down, 160 GSM paper, which is photo paper, matte, and I had that running last night and it ran absolutely fine. So I thought, okay, today I will paint the road. Absolute disaster. It's made it wrinkled there, it's opened the gap up just there, and it's wrinkled again down here, but it hasn't actually stopped the actual chain running. All it does is it makes the bikes jump over the ripples in the road, which are kind of realistic, but they're a little bit too high, and I don't like those gaps. So what I should be doing is experimenting on some paper, probably the same paper, but using a different technique, and I still might use this paint, but I think where I went wrong, I put it on too thickly to begin with. I should have put it on almost dry and did about 2 or 3 coats. I think that way it won't wrinkle the paper, because that's the only issue I've got, is the paper wrinkling and creating gaps like that there. So the bikes don't run too well on the bit I painted. It's okay-ish on that area, which is not painted, but as soon as it starts hitting the road, then of course I get a few problems. But as I say, it's all a learning experience, and we've got to start from somewhere. And all I will do, I will just cut that section of the road out, this section, cut that out, renew the double-sided tape and put some more paper on and dry brush it really and see what happens. I will get away with it in the end. It's just a case of experimenting with the different paints or the application of the paints. But so there's the bikes there, so let's see how they go. Now don't forget, you've got to use your imagination. What's going to happen, I forgot to mention, is so that's me and Hazel, and we're going to go along the road, and instead of going along the road, we'll divert off and go up a little track along around the back, avoiding a few bits and pieces which have fallen down, tree trunks, etc. Come down beside the shop, back down and into the garage, and then come back out of the garage. Now when I do this, you will see the bikes jumping and skipping about. Don't worry about it, it's initial stages. I'm just going to have to sort it, but I will sort it. So let's start them off and see what happens. I might have to stop it to correct the bikes where they jump about, but just bear with me. And it's not as loud as what I thought it would be, to be honest. It's reasonably quiet. Well, I think over there somewhere one of the bikes jumps. Well, it did do anyway. And that went round fine. So we're going along the cycle track at the back, and you can see the Hatton's Class 66 in the background, and that was pushing my camera for the track cam, which I will try and include if it came out okay on this video. So we're going into the garage. This is what we do. We've got our bikes out from the garage, go round, out the gates and up the road, and there we go. You can see it's jumped. Let's stop it. It's jumped one magnet. Over the hump. Our roads are bad, but they're not that bad. And that was caused by that little joint just there. It only needs a fraction. So only needs a tiniest thing on the track, and those bikes are so light obviously that they will jump off. So it's all an experimentation stage at the moment, but the plan is there anyway. And hopefully at the end of this video I will include the track cam video of where I had it running from about there to about there, and that should give you the back scene detail, and you should be able to see the bikes running along the top of the embankment. Let's bring those into the garage and stop them. And it's all controlled at the moment anyway by my very old Hornby controller. So it's a complete and utter lash up, as you can see. But it's got it working, that's the main thing. And now I've got it working like that, I can work on it properly and get it running right. And it's, to be honest with you, it's exactly the same as the Falla system. I had to experiment with that before getting it right, as you know. It runs perfectly now, but you know, it did take a little bit of time to get it and adjust it right. And the same thing's going to happen here. And I think the trick will be painting with a very dry brush so that the paper doesn't wrinkle. I think that is probably where I made this mistake. But we shall see, we will get there. I always do, so I don't see why I shouldn't get there on this one. The track will be painted obviously as a track. There will be shrubbery up the side here, and a typical grass, not grass, but muddy grass track running up the route of the bikes along the back. I'm pleased with the back scene. That's come out really nice. I'm liking that. It just needs dirtying up a bit. It's a bit too green and lush at the moment along the base, so I'm going to have to sort that out as well. But I say I only did this 2 days ago, so now it's all nice and dry. I can go back to it and do some touching up where necessary with either a dry brush or airbrush. And that, my friends, is about it. But at least the village and the Magnorail is underway, albeit a long way to go, but it is underway. And I think this is going to be a great success by the time it's finished. I've got high hopes for this. Yeah, so that's about it for the moment. I'm sure there's going to be many questions, well, I'm pleased with it. I can link this up now, well, not now, but at a later stage. Now I know how to plan it. I'd say I've got to build out another piece of wood here at the front along there and make the road slope down along that edge for the manor house to bolt onto. Obviously all the sides at the back will be shaped very much like that there. It will be shaped on the back edge here, and anywhere where the raised area is exposed. And for those asking, or were going to ask, or who have asked, I have here the lid, including the wire, that sits. Let's take that bike off before I ruin it. I've got lighting in the roof. That sits on there like so. If I can fit it in one-handed, which I can't seem to do. Why? I don't know. Just look straight in. It's the trouble trying to do this one-handed with a camera in your hand. There we go, like that. Ooh. In the end, when I've got this complete, I will have my layout running in on the top here, but I can't do that until, not physically running, it's going to be a photograph of the layout in here, with a little mini-me in there operating the layout, just for a bit of fun, just because I can, primarily. Like that. So we'll be able to come up, take the lid off the roof, and you should be able to see lakeside in the roof exactly as it is now. But as I say, I can't do that till the layout's basically finished. But that's a plan anyway, for later. The cottage, as I said, will be, in real life, is positioned like that. So that's roughly how far that board's got to come out, and that will give me enough room then for the rear garden for the cafe. So there we go, that should give you a few ideas. This corner here will not be square, it will be carved away, so it's not just a lump of square board. It won't look square by the time it's finished. Okay folks, that's about it. So hopefully you enjoyed that and given you a bit of an idea of what's ahead. A lot of work obviously ahead, but it's going to be fun doing this. But at least I've got the Magnorail working. It's just the paper I need to sort out. Okay, so bye for now. I hope you've had a great weekend, and hopefully I can speak to you again next weekend, where I might be hopefully further advanced with this. Okay, so bye for now, and hopefully speak to you next weekend. Okay, bye for now. Bye.